Hey, it's Mike Rogers Show. Mike Rogers here with you. And today I have a very special guest. A very, very, very special guest. He's an old friend of mine. We met at a record label that I founded, and he took over. He took it over from Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, won't you welcome George Cockle?
Hello, how you doing, Mike? Pretty good.
I'm doing fine. How are you?
Oh, busy and busier and busier. So it seems to get busier as I get older.
Oh, yeah, I totally understand that.
Yeah. Well, you know, they say you do your most productive work after you're 65, right?
They do?
Yeah. That's what they say.
I thought after 65 was like just shrivel up and die.
No, they say that, you know, it takes that long to get everything together. And from 65 to 70 is supposed to be the hot time. You know what I mean?
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. It's been
So-
pretty big. So how you been, man? You've been doing this, making movies and doing festivals and stuff. So what's up these days?
And I do 5 radio shows a week.
Wow, that's a lot.
Actually, I started doing this radio show on this New York station.
Mm-hmm.
It's
What do you play?
it's so, George, you would be so blown away how high tech this is. I sit here right here and I do this show, and it's broadcast Saturday night at 8 p.m. in New York.
That's great.
So, but you know, the time in Japan is like, 6 a.m.
Yeah. I do a radio show at 2 to 4 a.m. on Mondays.
Is it live?
Yeah. Oh no, it's taped.
Oh,
because it's 2 to 4 a.m. I'm not gonna go do a radio show at 2 to 4 a.m. But then it gets broadcast around the world at different times, right?
yeah.
So I'm not looking for a Japanese audience. I'm just looking for a worldwide audience. I just play Japanese music.
Yeah, that's on that show, that's all I do on that
I
particular show.
Yeah,
But-
I do these old Japanese rock.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. 70s
Really?
rock, stuff like that.
Really? You this station that I work at, it's a really, really famous station. Have
What's
you
it called?
WFMU?
WFMU, huh?
Yeah, in New York. It's been around since 1958.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty old.
Yeah, that's pretty old. And the people that work there, it just really surprises me. Well, first off, this technology that I can sit here, I do this show live, I press the buttons, 4 seconds later, I'm on air over there.
Yeah, wow.
It's just amazing. And I realize, like, wow, this is like the future.
Yeah, major radio stations, they want all this money to go do a live gig from some place, some joint, right?
Yeah.
But you only need one little small machine to be able to broadcast these days.
That's right.
You don't need the big machines that they used to need. You just need a little pad.
So after we're done, look up WFMU on Wikipedia.
Yeah, I've already got it on my screen.
You'll be blown away. You will be blown away. Like, so many famous artists got started there.
Oh, really? Huh?
Yeah.
They play everything, huh? What's it? They got a cow.
Okay, wait. This is a very strange station. They're the biggest freeform station in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't even really understand what freeform meant until I started working at the station.
How'd you find it?
It was introduced, well, actually, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, I asked them, can I do a show for them?
Mm-hmm.
Said, well, if you're in New York, yeah, you can. And I was like, oh. And then, I don't know, maybe about a year and a half ago, a friend of mine introduced me to them and said, I said, no, they won't do it. I have to be there. And he was like, no, it's not like that anymore. They've updated their technology.
Oh, that's great.
And I was like, really? So you I'd like if you want to,
Yeah.
for you to you have a online audition tape or something like that, right? And I hate to use the word tape.
Yeah, I got something somewhere. Yeah.
So I can send that to the boss and say, hey, this is a really good friend of mine. And because they started up a new station and there's still a lot of open times.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'd love to do something like that.
So the station that I'm on is WFMU Sheena's Jungle Room.
Okay.
And there's all these DJs, all the other DJs, they're really famous people. And I found out, like, wow, I know who you are. I know who you won the award, like the writers award thing, and everyone's really nice and stuff. And it, doing a radio show is really fun.
Yeah, it is.
But,
I enjoy it,
but dealing with the people.
You've been through there.
Oh my God. So, but with this, I'm just here. I don't have to deal with anyone. But even if I did deal with these people, I think I would be very happy because they're very common sense.
How long is the show?
My show?
Yeah.
I have two 2-hour shows.
Yeah, the one I do in the middle of the night here is 2 hours too.
Yeah, the station
from home is great.
Oh, I know. It's so much better,
Yeah.
And,
not having to go in. Yeah.
But I still do one FM radio show. At Kyushu LoveFM.
Oh yeah. Well, what was it that station called?
Oh no, I got 2 shows on that station.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I do a Wednesday night at 11, and then I do a Saturday night. I think it's 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock. I can't remember. That show's taped because they don't have.
What do you play on that? You play punk rock, or what do you play?
The Wednesday night show, I play punk rock. On Saturday, I play new jazz music. I don't play like let's take the 8. I don't play that stuff. I play weird new music.
Yeah.
Well, and they seem to like it.
Well, you tape those and send them to them, huh?
Yeah. Those 2 are taped, and I send it to them like, about 8 days ahead of schedule. Very simple.
What kind of equipment do you have at home?
What's that?
What kind of equipment do you have at home?
I have a Rode Podcaster Pro. You know what that is?
I've heard the name, but Rode Podcaster Pro?
Yeah. Those old phones, Sky Kitty camera.
Yeah.
The difference between that and your smartphone.
This is actually a machine. It's a machine.
It's a machine. It's a mixer, and it's uses artificial intelligence to set the levels. So you're not sitting there fiddling with these levels all the time for songs and stuff. You set it, and then it balances everything.
Oh yeah, that's the problem we have with like CDs. A lot of times the levels are so off, especially the older CDs. The levels are up and down.
Yeah.
I think Elton John is one of these guys that he keeps his levels really low. It just drops.
So if you did a show, you would want to do like 60s, 70s Japanese pop music.
Yeah.
They might be interested in that. They like weird music. Their webpage is really, really high tech too.
I'll check it out after this interview here. Yeah.
Their webpage is really high tech. There's a chat room when a live DJ comes on, and you can chat with the DJ.
Oh, really?
Just talk about stuff. And they're totally into building a community and doing this.
I'll check them out. That sounds interesting.
Yeah. So send me a link.
Yeah, I will.
I'll tell you all these links I need to have from you. But so I'm doing that. I don't really want to talk about me, I made a Yoko Ono movie.
How'd you do that? I mean, you ever met her before?
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
So so It's really weird, George. So you lived in the United States most of your life, or Japan?
It's about 25 years I lived in America. The rest of it over here.
So I've been writing articles, and I'll send you links. Wait a minute. If I don't write stuff down, I forget.
Yeah. But you write articles in English, right?
Yeah.
I just this month, I think this month my webpage should be up, and it's got all the articles I ever wrote for Japanese magazines.
Oh yeah.
So I got like 800 articles up there.
Wow.
Now.
I used to write for Japanese magazines, but I don't remember why I stopped. Too much trouble. Too much trouble. So I'm gonna send you.
Okay.
I wrote a couple of articles like what Westerners do not know about Yoko Ono.
Okay.
And did you know, George? Did you know that Yoko Ono's grandfather? You know Yasuda?
Yasuda Zaibatsu, right?
Yeah, Yasuda Zaibatsu. People in America don't know that.
Oh well, one of her cousins, their family lives over here. I know a couple of them, and they live in Kamakura.
And so I wrote an article, and it got published in several places, like the truth about Yoko Ono, and people were just blown away. And I was like, when John Lennon and Yoko Ono first started dating, and Yoko started telling John about who her family was and stuff like that, it was John and not Yoko who thought, holy shit, I won the lottery.
Yeah. Well, she came back to Japan after living in New York, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And they all came back they all went to one school here in Japan that was for those kind of kids, right?
Yeah. Akihito, the Emperor Akihito, he was a classmate of hers.
And Kimura Taro, that Japanese announcer,
yeah,
he owns Shonan Beach FM, but he was one of those kids too.
I know. So, but Americans and British, they don't know that. They think they just think Yoko Ono was just some Japanese girl going to school there.
Yeah, trying to be an artist kind of girl, right?
Yeah. And so I wrote those articles, and people are writing to me like, I can't believe it. And I'm doing that, and then doing this YouTube channel, which is kind of
I do a YouTube channel too. I get up about 3 every week. I talk about music, and I talk about surfing, and talk about life in general. But I put up 3. It's called Lazy Days. If you ever get a chance.
Okay, wait a minute. Well, when we're done, you got to send me links, and then I'm gonna.
Yeah, I will. Now I better write this down.
So just doing that. So in a week, I usually have about 9 shows to do.
No, that keeps you busy. But you get to do it all from home.
No, right? I get to do it all from home. And my son went to university in Canada. So one day I'm sitting at home here, and my wife and my son come up. They're like, "Daddy, we got to talk to you." I'm like, "Okay, yeah, what's up?" I'm gonna go to university soon. And I was like, "What? you were just like a little baby, like a couple of weeks ago. Are you kidding me?" I was so disappointed, depressed about that, George.
Well, the kids, before you realize that they're adults, mine's already 21, man. He can drink liquor in America.
Wow.
Yeah.
So he went away, and I thought, what am I going to do? Started doing this, and this is not an easy job. This is a very difficult job. And there are people who do this, and it's their full-time job.
Yeah, the YouTubers that are successful, it's a grind for them. It's not something to just, off the cuff. I mean, it's like, I do the Lazy Days thing, right? And every week we tape about 3 of them at once.
Mm-hmm.
we just release them every few days. But I got an editor that edits everything.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to have someone like that.
Yeah.
You can't just try to do it all on your own, or it's an all day time consuming job.
And that's right. And then somebody like you and me, I can write the Japanese and add the subtitles, but it's going to look like a second grader did it.
Yeah.
So I did that on the first couple of videos, and my wife said, "Honey, let me do that for you, okay?" I was just like, "Why? Well, what's wrong with this?" She was like, "No, I can just tell. I can just tell that."
Yeah, the only time my wife and I have arguments is when I had to write these articles for a music magazine, and she has no interest in it. So we'd argue about it because you'd have to have him rewrite it for you. You know what I mean?
Right.
Our Japanese is speaking Japanese. It's not really writing Japanese.
Yeah.
So you're kind of screwed. You can speak, but you can't write. It's a whole different thing.
It is, and when I used to write a column called Mr. Complainer, where I just complained about stuff. And I would write it, and then my wife would fix it.
Yeah, you got to have them fix it. Yeah. You call them copy editors.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, it's a real job.
That sounds like a paying job. I don't want to tell her that.
Yeah. It is a paying job.
So anyway, so what are you doing, George?
Well, I try to stay healthy so I can surf.
Mm-hmm.
I still surf, and I do the radio show at Inter FM, and I do two shows at Shonan Beach FM.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to do a Hawaiian show, but after 20-something years, it got canceled.
Oh,
because Hawaiian isn't so popular anymore.
Really?
Yeah, and I write, and I write articles for magazines, and I also publish the Surfer's Journal magazine in Japan, which is probably one of the only surf magazines left in the world.
Surfer's Journal.
Yeah,
I've seen that. You published that, huh?
Yeah. We had the whole thing translated, and then we check we have to do what we call a native check, where after the translation comes up, me and my partner go over every sentence and fix it, because translators sometimes don't understand the culture.
Mm-hmm.
So they get those things mixed up, and in American language, a lot of times there's things that are kind of said backwards.
Yeah,
they miss those translations.
So
I got a great one where guy's writing about a kind of a bird, like a hawk kind of thing, called a kite.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it got translated into Japanese, it got translated into taco, like you throw it in the air.
Oh.
And then somebody else took that and they translated it back into octopus.
Isn't a kite like a falcon or something like that?
Yeah. It's called tombi in Japanese.
Oh.
And we have a bunch of them here in Kamakura. They always, their eyes are so good that if you're eating a hamburger, they'll just take the meat out while you're eating it.
Wow.
And what they do is they hit you with their wing at the back of your head.
Uh-huh.
So your head turns around, and that's the moment they grab the hamburger. But
smart birds.
But around here, they're a nuisance for people because they take everything from us, right?
Yeah.
Well, when the tourists come here and they get their hamburgers stolen, they love it because the tourists love having a kite steal their burger because it's a good story for them.
So George, you mentioned about that radio station. So I think you are a real survivor. Your show has continued in the same format for at least 12 years or 15 years.
Yeah, we started in 2007, so
that's really good.
Yeah, so it's 15, 16 years maybe, so getting up there.
I've never had a show that lasted more than 3 years.
Yeah, most shows I've had lasted, like FM Tokyo, the longest one I ever had there was 2 years, right? And Inter FM's long one, and the Hawaiian show I had lasted about 20 years, but it was a community show,
Yeah.
community radio.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm the longest running program on Inter FM now.
Really? Actually,
Yeah.
I talked to somebody, and I shouldn't say his name, but he was complaining to me that their show was 5 days a week, and now they're on Fridays. And he said, "You know how it is, Mike. When they want to cancel you, they move your show from 5 nights a week to Friday, and
Yeah.
then they have it there, and then they cancel you." I was really surprised. I didn't even know that.
Well, that's what happens all the time when I was in Tokyo FM. When I had a show 4 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
When they cancel that, they give you a Saturday show, and they cancel that after 6 months.
Well, that's actually nice, though. I mean, that they do that, you know.
But everybody knows your show's getting canceled, so.
Well, that's a bummer part.
Yeah, because I've had like 7 shows on Tokyo FM, but they all get canceled quickly. I think what happens is when a new director comes in, Hensei director, edit, the person in charge of
Mm-hmm.
up with ideas for the shows. When a new one comes in, they want to put their own mark on it, so they get rid of all the old.
Yeah.
It's sort of. I think that's their job, is to cancel shows and make their own.
Yeah.
But we've been lucky at Inter FM with that Lazy Sunday. I mean, we still got the same format, we still got the same time, and it's still continuing.
That's really cool, though.
Yeah, it is. It's amazing.
But I got to tell you, if you get this, if we get this job at WFMU,
yeah,
I think like, oh shit, this is
Yeah,
the future.
I'll check it out, and I want to check out this machine you're talking about, the Rode Podcaster Pro.
It's expensive.
Yeah,
They cost maybe Jusaman,
oh,
but
but
it saves you a lot of work. You're not fiddling with these
yeah,
controllers all the time.
yeah, the controls. On community radio station, I got to do the controls myself, right?
Yeah.
And the records, they're just so different, and so you got to keep dealing with those knobs the whole time. So, but what I found out on the community radio station, you just turn it up real high,
Mm-hmm.
and the condenser will automatically bring it down to the level you want. They want. So yeah, so that gets control. As long as it's not too small. As long as it's
so George, you're doing 3 radio shows. You do the magazine. You write for other magazines. Anything else you got going on?
Oh, just trying to surf as much as I can.
You go. How many days a week do you go surfing?
Oh, about once it gets a little bit warmer, about 3 days a week. And what I also do is I play records at restaurants and bars. Right? Like I own a bar in Shibuya.
Oh, you own a bar?
Yeah, I'm partners with a guy, and I used to do a DJ there, but I quit doing that. I quit DJing at my own bar, but I also DJ at Parco, the department store.
Mm-hmm.
They have a record bar down below in Shibuya. I do DJ there, and I play records.
Well, that's cool.
Then I do a request DJ gig in Yokohama, where I use my PC and my hard disk, and I play requests for people. And then I also do a DJ up in Old Scott, a place called Titan's Craft Beer Hall.
I think I saw a photo of you doing a show there or something. I don't know
Yeah,
if you
yeah,
call it a show or a performance.
Yeah, I did a show there, and I had my birthday party there, and so we, I'm keeping busy doing that kind of stuff, and I also do a lot of MC gigs. Like when Jerry Lopez came to Japan with his movie, I traveled with him in Tokyo and Osaka to do the gigs, MC and narrate, and then I just did something with a guy from America. Remember that group called America from the 70s?
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, I do remember.
Yeah. Kind of soft, real young. Anyway, the guy put out a book of photos, and I emceed that in Kyoto. I actually do a lot of emceeing, like weddings too.
That's good.
Yeah, and the people that ask me to do their weddings, they're listeners of Lazy Sunday, so I don't have to do all that correct Japanese crap, right? I just do it, you know, and I don't have to read all special words.
Well, that's really cool, George. So I can listen to you now on Sundays at Inter FM.
Yeah.
Sundays, what time?
11 to 3.
11 to 3. 11
on Inter FM. And Saturday is Shonan Beach. It's 12 to 6.
Shonan Beach
FM. I play.
How do I listen? But wait, Shonan Beach is a community FM. How do I listen to it?
You go on their homepage and they got a button that says "Listen Now."
Oh,
and that one, it's interesting because it's a community radio. So I get email from Europe and America and Indonesia and Sri Lanka because they can listen all over the world.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird in Japan? The majors, you can only listen in Japan, but the community, you can listen all over the world.
Yeah, about that, I've thought it over, and I finally figured it out. It's Jazzrack's problem, but and everybody complains about Jazzrack, but if Jazzrack didn't do it this way, Japanese artists would not sell any CDs or records.
Yeah. So, you know, people bitch about Jazzrack, but somebody's got to control it. Some aspect.
Well, in America, you know, American publishing companies, they don't do jack.
Yeah. Jazzrack does it all.
Yeah.
Man,
Jazzrack, you don't screw around with Jazzrack. That's for sure.
Yeah, they will come try to shut you down. But you know, I got about 50 songs registered with Jazzrack as a lyricist.
Really? That's cool.
Yeah, I used to write a lot a few years ago, but you know, not so much anymore. But because I'm not out on the town meeting bands anymore.
Wow.
Yeah. And I get these every 3 months. I get a big pile of envelopes of all these royalty statements, and you've been there with the Super Stars when you used to run the publishing. You have to send out statements every 3 months, right?
Yeah.
But take some girl or some guy, you know, a few minutes to type it in, then they got to put it in an envelope and they got to put a stamp on it and they got to send it to me. And then it says 50 yen. We can't pay it yet. We'll pay it in every fourth quarter. You know what I mean? So, you know how much it costs them to get me just to show me that they can't pay me this month.
Yeah. So wait a minute. So George, anyway, so I want to do this interview in 2 parts. Okay. So this is the first part. And then in the second part, I want to come back and talk about how we first met.
Okay.
Because I think that's a really super interesting story. So anyways, this is the Mike Rogers Show. Today's guest was the famous, super famous George Chumley Cockle. Yay, George!
Hey, thank you. Yeah.
We'll see you back here tomorrow. And if you like this video, go down here, click like and subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow on the Mike Rogers Show. Bye.